Welcome to Battle of Omni. Omnimon is in grave danger. He's been set upon by multiple enemies. Me and you, Tamer, have to go out there and fight the forces of evil to bring Omnimon back home. In this series, we open one box per week to see if we can help Omnimon beat these guys down. Join us for our weekly challenge in the original sealed only series.
Hello Tamers, and welcome to the Battle of Omni expansion. As you may have seen from our intro, we're now opening one box per week in the hopes of making more advanced decks. In theory, the reason for doing this is so that we can make our decks better and kind of catch up with the meta, I suppose. The box per week is literally just for Battle of Omni expansion. Once BT6 comes out, we will be going back to the regular £20 per week thing. Just want to say thank you to all of you new Tamers who have come and subscribed to us. I think we've gained like 50 subscribers. Obviously, we know that it's all down to the deck profiles, but it's still nice to see. And I think we've had like 200 hours extra watch time since we did the deck profiles, which is awesome. So thank you very much. And with that, we will go into the very long pack openings.
Hello Tamers, welcome to the first part of this season series, Extended Crisis. Welcome to Battle of Omnimon. We are now pulling a box per week for this set. Essentially, in my mind, I wanted our decks to become a bit more competitive with each other. They are fun decks to make, but at the end of the day, we do kind of get shoehorned, and as this is a kind of power creepy kind of game, we are getting further and further behind some of our decks. Now, Mr. Swiftly has been able to make some of those decks really good, but nonetheless, if we can make them all really good, I think that'd be great. So, we have one box, and we have one pack of pre-release stuff to open per week. Yes, we picked up a case at a pre-release, so we got very, very lucky. So, rather than Tamer, this is what roughly a box will look like. We have ourselves a lovely Takumi. You can't really see because I put the light on so brightly. I do apologise, but looks very nice. I think he's probably the worst Tamer if you're looking for price-wise, but in our decks it could be really good, especially in some of the lower power. Draw power is always really good in any game, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Let's open the pre-release pack. Nothing necessarily here is going to be game-breaking, but obviously sometimes it's nice to have max rarity. As you know what they say, max rarity is not just a lifestyle choice. Mid rarity, we have a nice upgrade to this lovely tire mat. Not gonna lie, if we do pull some Omnimons, also Red already has Omnimons in, we can play this in there to make them a little bit more powerful. And we also have ourselves a nice Gabumon here. Just again, pre-release, this is now highest rarity in this card. If we were to play this card in the blue deck, which we might, it's very good. So if you don't know what this is, which you should do, on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add a Garurumon or an Omnimon to your hand. You get to add one of each if you pull. One of each. So it's pretty cool. Yet again, with the wonderful opening skills that I have, we have a weird jank opening of packs. So, Takumon, this is the lovely, your opponent can't reduce costs. That's pretty useful in this series, especially in BT5. Makes digi-destined a lot worse. Morishell, Tropemon, Karamon, great search for the archetype. The new blocker that you're going to want in red, Monochromon, 1 cost to digivolve into. Nightmon, fantastic common in anything Nightmon related, is going to be fantastic. The Garurumon, that we talked about earlier, another Gabumon. Can't actually fly if rate in green. Spend one of your opponent's Digimon, then if your opponent has level 7 in play, you can trash top card for security. Pretty good for trying to get to that end board if you can. Infernmon, a Magidramon, and a Hexabluemon. As you already know, I do like the idea of playing a Hexabluemon in our series, so this is going to be something pretty damn good if we can get ourselves a playset, which in 12 boxes shouldn't be too hard. There we go, second pack opened like a professional. Gaussmon, this is the red version of the Soken we saw earlier. It also has the other effect of, if you have more than one of these in play, you can gain extra 3000 DP, so it's pretty cool. Colemon, again this is the blue blocker, 1 cost, fantastic, get it if you can. Black Galgamon, if you have Reboot, you get jamming, pretty good. And then this is the third one you get for this set, which is the opponents can't reduce Digimon costs. So to elaborate, this is things like it will stop Digisorption, it will stop Hidden Potential Discovered, going to stop Mega Fusion, and it will stop things like the Impildramon gaining memory effect. Commandramon, it's another Commandramon for the Commandramon deck. You get blocker in this one, it's pretty cool, it's pretty good. Again, if you have the effect where you can bring your Commandramon out onto the field for free, blockers are pretty good. Jokermon has non-deletion effect, you can bring back a level 3 play. Kind of good, but it's very expensive, so it's not always the greatest. Royal Nuts, reroll top 5 cards to your deck, add 1 with Digisorption. It's pretty good if we're allowed to have more Digisorption cards in the game, but yeah, we know why not. Sharpmon, again, searching for the archetype, fantastic card. Zanubamon, very cheap, cost 10 to play, 2 to evolve into. This is going to be something you just want to use to run into something. Pikmon, great little baby. Bluecamon, again, baby form of Hexabluemon, fantastic card. Mega Digimon Fusion can be used with any Omnimon going in from 6 to 7. It's very good. So anything that already has Omnimons, probably do want to have at least 1 or 2 of those around. I'm just going to say this now, before my wife gets really crazy with me. This will probably be the only opening we go through, where we go through all the stuff, just to sort of let people know what's going on. In future episodes, the openings probably will be put down to like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much we pull. Sukumon, we've seen. Diramon, your turn for each of a suspended Digimon you're in play. This Digimon gets 2000 DP, pretty good. Dobrikmon, essentially the devil. When attacking, you may trash 1 card in your hand, add its attack to this one. Pretty good for beating over something that you don't think you would otherwise. Kotemon, this is the searcher for the Lord Nightmon deck. Fantastic. Red blocker again. Joker, already seen. Gladiamon. Gladiamon's pretty good. So a lot of these night themed cards you want to play. So it's a forecast, which isn't too expensive. And on play, you get to look at your security. You can take out a warrior or a holy warrior from your security. And then if you do, recover security and then shuffle your deck. Very good, especially if you're trying to get tempo very early. Pikmon, fantastic for that type. Guilmon, undeletion effect, pairs really well with its evolution form, which is essentially when you digivolve, delete a Digimon. If you do, delete a Digimon of level 5 or less. Because this has an undeletion effect by effect, gain a memory, so it's more tempo for that to play. Greymon, digivolve from Agumon, and gain a memory. That this isn't affected by the memory tampering cards, because it's gaining a memory, not reducing a memory. War Greymon, pretty good. On Digivolving, if you have a Greymon in play, so metal or this, only the good ones, not the fake ones. Skull Greymon still counts as well. If you do play Skull Greymon, you can destroy a blocker. So if you do hard cast the Skull Greymon to destroy a blocker, you can then play that on top to destroy another blocker, so it's pretty cool. And we've got ourselves a Zwert. So this is probably like one of the best cards in the format. If you didn't know what it is, this is Zwert. So essentially, when Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Then you may play up to 2 black or purple Digimon cards with the play cost of 8 or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. When attacking, you may return 1 level 6 Digimon card in this Digivolution cards to the owner's hand to delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with play cost of 12 or less. Pretty good. Basically destroys a Mega that attacked last turn. So there we go. 2 nice hollow pulls for this week. Pack number 4. By the time this goes up, I probably would have done my pre-release video of what I opened for both pre-releases I went to. Let's just say I was playing on hard mode. Let's just say that. So we have Gaussmon, very good. This is following the last set where we got the cheap champions. This is better than the last set for free. You get 4000 DP. You're essentially getting yourselves a rookie-powered champion, so it's going to do all those effects. Champion Rushdown might be an actual thing soon. Starmon, good in the Starmon deck. We don't want to talk about that, but it's pretty good. Dobrikmon, we've already seen. Black Groundmon, this card is more fantastical than you'll ever really imagine. It will gain security attack +1, it's pretty cool. Weedmon, I pretty much ran to every single deck. Someone had a Weedmon in the deck. Then you could see even 1 from packs. But Weedmon is very good, it's super duper cheap. And on Digiburst, you gain a memory. Pixelmon, Supreme Cannon. It's a bit weird. So this destroys 5000 DP or less if you have a Gurumon or Omnimon in its name. And then it does 3000 if you don't. It's essentially a blocker / rookie beatdown card. Like Agumon Expert, on deletion, so if it runs into the security or gets killed or whatever, you can then look for another on deletion effect. So essentially you pair this with the Guilmon and the Guilmon comes back for free, back to your hand. But right from Darkness, delete 1 in purple Digimon, and then you may play a level 5 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects though, do not trigger. You got yourselves a Neptunemon, pretty good, cannot be attacked on your opponent's turn, but obviously you can still blow it up. Then we have 2 Tamers. We have the Tai and Matt yet again, fantastic card if you got Omnimons. And the Arata Sandeya, which is the tamer for the Diaboromon decks. They'll get better, but this card's fantastic. You saw a lot of play of this in pre-release just because it's very easy to get your unidentified into the trash and basically just continually gaining memory throughout the game, which memory tempo is very good in any format. Oh, definitely should have brought a drink up for this. Woo! We have ourselves, oops, some good in the back. Troopmon, Floromon, Keramon, Koalamon, Pilomon, Meteor Shower. Main, you may play 1 yellow Digimon card with Starmon in its name from your hand without playing its memory cost. Free cost, the ultimate is 6, essentially getting for half price. If there is ever a mega version of that card, I do recommend probably figuring out how you can cheat it out and doing things like that because it's pretty fantastical. Ultimate Flare, Digivolve free, and what is this? Then delete all your opponent's Digimon with a cost of 3 or less. Pretty good, can be a bit awkward. Choose Starmon, and deletion, one of your opponents gets minus 3000 DP per turn. Pretty good. Koramon, fantastic. It's nice to see some of these. I don't even know if you've been seeing these. I do apologise, guys. Monitramon, Omnimon, fantastic ultimate, 5 cost to play, and has a 2 cost to evolve into. Probably one of the best ultimate blacks right now. Ooh, we have the Armageddon. I've not seen this around. So this is the big boss for the Diaboromon deck, and this is when playing this card from your hand, you may delete one of your Diaboromons, includes a token, to reduce its cost by 12. Essentially, it's a free play cost if you have a token on the field. It gains rush, so you can attack the first turn it comes out, and then all turns with digivolving effects for level 7 Digimon do not activate. Fantastic. Now, I don't think you'll ever see much play, and I don't think it'll ever be competitive for a while, because some of these other cards just out-tempo it like crazy, and that's going to be the issue for that card for a long time. But it's nice to see it, and we will try to build a Diaboromon deck here. It just will not be the big Diaboromon deck, just because we didn't get access to any of the promos during our Sealed series. Weedmon, Commandramon, and Gasamon. Talmon. So if you're a fan of Renamon and its evolutions, this is the ultimate form. All turns, all of your opponent's securities will get 1000 less DP. Pretty nice tech options if you're a bit worried about Lord Nightmon crashing itself in, but Lord Nightmon does gain more DP for more monsters you have on your side of the field. Jamming, finally Purple got access to this. It's a pretty good card, 4 cost. Jamming, I don't disagree, that is a good card. If you can try and get it in your deck, do. Don't worry if you can't. Rowdy Rocker, draw 2 for 2 essentially. Put a card at the bottom of your red Digimon. Reboot, this is a great card. Black Mecha. Galmon has reboot, so you can gain jamming if you have its pre-evolution underneath it, and then if you have reboot in its forms above, so if you're looking at things like the new Black War Greymon or the new Metal Grumon in black, you do gain a lot of additional love here. Gigimon, my favourite baby from this set, as well as it probably being my favourite cards from this set. Your turn was turn when one of your Digimon is deleted. This will get 2000 DP for the turn. Fantastic. You will be hunching over a lot of things if you can. Here's that Starmon I was about earlier. 6 cost, 2 cost to evolve, 7k DPS, a Super Starmon. But again, you can play it for 3 cost if you use this shooting star thing. We have ourselves here an absolute blast. I do think this card is really good. It's costed quite well, I think, and that is you can trash the distribution card of one of your opponent's Digimon and then return one of your opponent's Digimon with no distribution cards to bottom of its own deck. Hexabluemon really likes to go against anything that's essentially a Digiburst deck, because they won't be doing anything against you, and you'll stop them from doing things as well. Got ourselves another Takiumi Ilba, and this is again when you have the one of your Digimon Digivolves, you may draw an extra card, so essentially you're getting 2 draws for 1, but you have to suspend it. And then all turns, all level 3 Digimon gain attack, lose 1 memory. So it does stop Rookie Rush, but it also stops Rookie Rush on your turn, so don't forget that. Then we have Sukuman as well about the Renamon evolutions, and that is your opponent's turn. When an opponent's Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, it gains security attack -3. It's a very good secondary card in Lord Nightmon. Not necessarily the best card, but this is down to you. I think it's a lot better than a lot of people give it credit for. But your turn, all of your opponent's security Digimon get -3000 DP. If you have the Cubimon and the Talmon, your opponent's security basically has -5000, and you're basically punching over everything, because there's currently nothing over 15k that could be in the security that isn't affected by security enhancement cards themselves. Ooh, we're only half through the pack here. Good damn. Let's go. Triceramon. Got some Floramon. Mandacorimon. Really good blocker. It's literally just a blocker, but it can never attack. But on an opponent's turn, if you do block something and it deletes it, you get to unsuspend and can block again. Continuously. Not once per turn, that is forever, so you get that up early in Rookie Rush, they ain't doing much. For Jurimon, again, super cheap purple Digimon. Up to you for the play, it's not terrible, but there are better purples currently running around. Garbymon, another Garurumon. Ultimate Flare, I've already seen. The GG, on deletion, recover deck +1. Crypelsramon, when Digivolve interest the bottom card of all of your opponent's Digimon, which I think is really, really good. Then your opponent, if one of your opponent's Digimon does not have a Digivolution card in play, this Digimon gains +1 security. Very, very good. Got ourselves the Sunamon. Argamon, Digivolution -2. Then when Digivolving, spend all of your opponent's Tamers. All turns, your opponent's Tamers cannot unsuspend. Great card. And then a card that doesn't get enough love, Earthshaker, and that is main. Delete one of your opponent's unsuspended level 4s and delete one of your opponent's unsuspended level 5s. If you're tempoing really early, or you're playing the Metal Garurumon deck where you burst off really good choice of card, you can destroy 2 monsters. Sometimes it's better than a Trump Sword, depending on how much tempo you need to sort of like bring out on the field. Marine Devimon, great cost, 2 cost to Digivolve in blue. If you want more tempo in blue, that's really good. Philmon, Kasariamon, or Digivolving, if you do not have a Arata Sadea in play, you may play one from your hand without paying its memory cost. Very, very good card. Makes things a bit easier early game. Gasmon I've already seen, Talmon I've already seen, Royal Nuts, these nuts, Gladiamon, Sumon, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has another its type, you may trigger draw 1. I always forget to draw the 1, remember yourselves. Cries I've already seen, very, very good card. a Blazing Metal Storm. Rock on, baby. Till the end of your opponent's next turn, all of your Digimon reboot, gain 1000 DP, plus blocker. This card is multiplicative. If you have multiple of these on your hand, and you can basically spend out 4, you will get 4000 extra DP, and all your rebooters will have blocker. It'll be very hard for someone to fight you. Catastrophe can trigger, Digivolve +2, and then if you have a Diaboromon in play, you can gain a token. So not bad in a Diaboromon focused deck. A Metal Grumon. And Digivolving, if you have a Digimon card with Grumon in its name, its Digivolution card return one of your opponent's Digimon with an undeletion effect to the bottom of the unit's deck. Trash all of the Digivolution card on that Digimon. Pretty damn good. I think this is mostly used for removal of defeat, but you can obviously remove a few other things from play just to make things easier for yourself. Crosariumon, Colemon, Coatmon, Troopmon. Because we haven't gone through it before. When Digivolving, one of your other Digimon get 3000 DP for the turn. I think it's a Garudamon that has this earlier in the game. I think it's like from Shrook Stick. The one it says to delete one of your Digimon, do it and spend one of your purple Digimon. Pretty good card if you are able to get the extra swings in for fun. Gladiamon, you've seen this one. Spoil Masquerade. I'm surprised this isn't uncommon. It's a very good card, a very broken card, and essentially that is for each Digimon you have been playing. Activate this effect, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. So this is multi-triggering, so if you have literally 4 rookies on the field with 3000, they all take the same damage if you've got 4 Digimon on your side of the field. It's very good, very oppressive. Guilmon, the wooden scene. Zerg Greymon, when Digivolving gains Blitz, wonderful. And then your turn, while this Digimon attacks with Blitz, it can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Very nice. There we go. So in this set, if you didn't know, Diaboromon is a rare, so hopefully we'll get a few more of these so we can try and maybe make that deck just for the fun of it. And when Digivolving, you may play 1 Diaboromon token without paying its memory cost to the field. Very good. Again, this is just more up-tempo to try and get your Armageddonons on the field, and we now have ourselves probably one of the funnest cards of the format, and that is a Chaos Gallantmon. When Digivolving, you may delete one of your other Digimon, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. Your turn, once per turn. When one of your other Digimon is deleted, you may play one of the 3 purple Digimon cards from your trash without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects on Digimon played with this effect don't activate. So yeah, so normally what you do is you trigger the Guilmon. Look, we have one actually in the same pack. So you trigger this, kill it off, goes over there, and then on your turn, once per turn, you can then bring it back again. Now I don't know if this has the same triggering effect like Digiburst, where you can't do it if it doesn't hit the graveyard, but I'm presuming it's essentially a, hey, this did this went there, I gained the memory, but it's still my turn. Maybe it is your turn because you gain the memory, and then you can carry on. So yeah, some very fun interactions in purple at the moment. Seokomon, Cubimon. So again, we haven't seen this before, but I don't think we have. All of your opponent's Digimon, get minus 1000 DP. Again, we've seen this before with its evolution forms. As I said, it might be worth playing just the Mega form as the 2 of in a deck, but it's pretty good. Black Groundmon, Triceramon, Garbymon, Meteor Shower, Palmon. On deletion, place 1 Palmon from your trash under one of your green Digimon at the bottom of its loose sources. This is essentially just, hey, I played the promo one, it got Digiburst off, it did things, next turn I just crash this into something, and then I get the promo back and start doing jamming things all over again. On play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add all Digimon with Digisorption cards amongst them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. 4 cost play is not too bad. If Digisorption was still a real thing going on now, and this is really weird because this is basically the time that they kind of banned hidden potential power and hidden Argamon. So essentially most of the Digisorption cards that you want to use got banned right now. So this card kind of came in and just fizzled out of existence because no one's really playing that. Mycemon, Nivasumon. There you go, Izzy and Mimi saw loads of these during pre-release. They're fantastic, especially in green. So if you go into your turn and your opponent has a suspended Digimon, you gain 2 memory. So, and the fun thing about this is a lot of people are playing, but reboot actually activates on my turn. So if they're rebooting during that, if I have a Tamer with gain 3 memory, then these you're gaining 5 memory for that turn. Reboot is a fantastic skill, but it will cripple your life points if you don't respect green. Then we have ourselves a Metal Greymon Ultaris mode. Beautiful card, just wish we had an Ultaris for it. It's very, very nice. So, if people keep asking, there's quite a lot of really good commons in this set, which is pretty good, but it would have been nice to get some of these at pre-release with a stamp on, just to make them a bit nicer, you know me, a hot match rarity. Black Galgamon, Marine Devimon, Managnorimon, Triceriumon, Beldramon. We haven't seen this one yet, I don't think, and that's when Digivolving fresh up to 2 Digivolution cards from one at the bottom of your opponent's Digimon. This is essentially a champion version of Zudamon. Zudamon's still a very fantastic card, especially in this deck. If you haven't seen it, look at the profile on our channel. It's really good. Jokomon, Supreme Cannon, Kiwimon, Gigimon, Sumimon, Arenamon. We haven't seen this yet. The fact that it's a rare makes me very confused. Nonetheless, on play, of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack at -1 until the end of your opponent's next turn. Yeah, very expensive 4 cost. It is an on play effect, so it makes some sense, but I don't really see it being used. Now, I don't speak German very well, so I do apologize to any of my German viewers. Wieselin maybe. Main, up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's turn. Then, if you have a Digimon Digiburst in play, gain 2 memory. So there's a good chance that this is going to be a forecast, and then obviously if it's hitting the security, again, up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack until the end of your turn, so end of the turn, and then so they don't get to play the turn. Then, if you have a Digimon with Digiburst, you gain 2 memory, so that can then push it into your turn because you've got a suspended Digimon. If you've got, say, a regular Mimi in play, and then that is your Mimi, you're gaining 5. It's just a lot of dirty plays in green. Dirty green. But no, I think it's pretty good. I don't know if it's going to be played much. It's very good. It doesn't suspend, obviously, so that's not so great. It'd be nice if it maybe suspended 2 cards, just to make it a bit more aggressive. But there we go. Oh, right, another Weedmon. Weedmon's probably one of the few cards I'd say in this set that's really good in green right now. 1 cost, great in green, and then obviously when you Digiburst something off, you're gaining the memory. Vajamon, Cubimon, Gaussmon, Mandramon, Gurumon, Rowdy Rocker, Superstarmon, Royal from the Darkness, Zambumon, another of the Arata Zanadea, very nice, and then Trainer One Assistant. As you can tell in the background there, Mr. Agumon is not having a good day. This is one of the really weird cards that has the Digiburst 1 on, and that is the reveal top card of your deck. Add it to your hand if it's a green Digimon card, otherwise it's one of your deck. So yes, this is essentially one of those cards like Tentamon, except you play it into your baby, then bring it out the following turn, and then you will activate Digiburst. Give yourself a bit more card advantage. Green's already very good at that, so it's not a terrible card choice, but down to you, in retrospect. Black Galgamon, Marine Devimon, Makanorimon, Tricerimon, Powdermon, Ultimate Flare, Palmon, You Can't Actually Fly, Superstarmon, Digimon, Izzy and Mimi, and a Black War Groundmon. I didn't see any of these at pre-release, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing some of these in the series. And it's Digiburst free. You may play one of the Freedom card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Any on-play effects don't work, and then your effect is you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon to suspend this Digimon. This is the same effect that where Garurumon has, I think, in BT2. It's very, very good. They're both very, very good cards because just doing that, and obviously because you activated on deletion effect, you can do other things. It's very. A lot of these cards are very good for the sake of being very good in purple right now. Chaos Gallantmon deck looks really good. Oh, Measayomon, Monochronomon, Morishamon, Manakanorimon, Baldramon, Garurumon, Royonuts, Sweetamon, Infernmon, Neptunemon, another Uvislin, Black or Greymon. There we go. So he's pretty good. He gets Security +1, has reboot, and he's a 12 body. So that's pretty good on most things. If obviously doing a few other things like using the was it blazing metal, whatever it was called. Really, really good. Gives it blocker as well. So obviously it unsuspends during the start of your turn, then I can block during your turn, and then it'll unsuspend again because it's my start of my unsuspend phase. So pretty good. Meramon, Gabumon, Masoyamon, Cutemon, Black Growlmon, Palmon, all my cards are falling over, Nightmon, Gabumon, Pigmon, Monitemon, and another Black Growlmon, awesome. Oh, we picked the good pack. So, for those who didn't know, this is the new Black Metal Garurumon. Reboot, again, fantastic skill. And then when Digivolving, Digiburst 2 away, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a playcost of 6 or less. And if there's no Digimon that was deleted by this act, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. This is really good because obviously it gets either rid of a blocker most of the time, or it gets rid of a security. So, you tell me, Tamer, that's a pretty good card. I'm not saying it's the best card in the game, but I am thinking it's a pretty goddamn good card if you want to play a cheaper black deck right now. So, I think we've only pulled 5 secrets so far, because I don't think that was the alternate art set. What's his face? Armageddon. I could be wrong there. So we're still expecting a secret rare, 2 secret rares, 2 alternates, or 1 of each. So, Drupikmon, the good old demon boy. Diramon, Black Galgamon, Marine Devimon, Starsmon, Demonic Disaster, Nova Nightmon, Gabumon, Spiral Masquerade, Rosemon, Wergarumon. So Chase Mode, I love this card. If you can play it in a deck where you can play the other Wergarumons, you're getting damage pretty good. And then we're going to say Reflegimon. Not a great card, but for those decks who are a bit worried about Hexabluemon being a thing, it's pretty much good as a, if you say if you're going to run like Nidhoggmon and you Digiburst everything off and then you're scared, you can just put this on top and you do get yourself a little bit more advantage. But that is a nice card to have, and it's something we could look at doing as a tech option in green. Fruitmon, Floramon, Keramon, Corlamon, Feelamon, Black Mecha Galgamon, Royal Nuts, Coromon, Bancho Lilymon, Absolute Blast, another Ataurus mode, and a Nokia on play. You may play one Agumon or Gabumon from your hand without paying its memory cost. So essentially, you play this down, then you play your Searcher for free, and then if you have any more memory left over, you can then Digivolve that Searcher probably into your Greymon or Garurumon. Main, when Digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand with Garurumon, Omnimon, or Greymon, except the fake ones, in its name, you may unsuspend this Tamer to reduce the memory cost of this Digivolution by 1. So this, I think, is affected by the new cards, but the memory regained from the Greymon isn't, if that makes sense. So if you went from an Agumon to Greymon, you gain a memory, so it's only a 1 cost evolution. Then suspending this would be a 0 cost evolution, which is fine to do. But yeah, I think this is not activated because it's a triggering of the effect to reduce the memory cost. So I think that one doesn't activate, but it's pretty cool just to play, just so you can play a Rocky Mobbleders in the field. It's pretty cool. Right then, getting further down this box. All right, we've got a Morishiyamon, Starsmon, Kurosariumon, Taomon, Majoramon, Meteor Shower, Black Mecha Galgamon, Digimon, Yokomon. Is that the first we've seen today? Zambamon, Mega Digimon Fusion, and another Terriermon Assistant. So it's nice to see the Mega Fusions. Obviously, we got ourselves one of the defeats. Not defeats, it's the words. So it's nice to get the chance to actually maybe use that in lovely, lovely purple or black. Green Devimon, Pillarmon, Kurosariumon, Gaussmon. Is that opponent's turn? Your opponent can't reduce Digimon. Yeah, I think that might be the effect of the Tamers, because you want to say Tamer effect, so maybe that's the case. Taomon, Piximon, Meteor Shower, Shooting Starmon, Rosemon, Shademon. That's the first one we've seen of this one. Security, you can play this from your security onto the field for free if it's in security. Blocker, but it can't attack at any. It isn't unidentified though, so you can get this into your trash or on top of another card like the Summon. It will give you the chance to gain a draw when you attack. Obviously not this one, but you know, Kuyamon and the Omnimon alternate art with Blitz. That is a beautiful card, everyone. Well, this is one of the alternate arts. I think there's another one. This is the nice gold half art one. There we go. So, because we haven't pulled the regular one, and Digivolving Blitz. When Digivolving, to suspend this Digimon. All turns, if an opponent's effect would delete this Digimon or return to its owner's hand or deck, you may prevent it from leaving play by trashing a level 6 Digimon card in this card's distribution cards. Pretty good. This works really well in like the Shoutmon deck, where you basically just want to have 8 level 6s and then just play this on top and then play a X antibody on top of that, so you've got just this massive stack of cards, and then if anything tries to whiff it, you will delete. You just essentially just chip away at your own level 6s and they don't do anything. Right, we've got 5 packs left. We've got 2, 4, 6 super rares, and then we've got 1 alternate art, so we should be after 2 more shinies out of 5, so it can't be too bad, right guys? Meramon, Garbymon, Osoyamon, Cutemon, Black Growlmon, Agumon, Supreme Cannon, Shoutmon, Transcendent Sword. I think it's like the first one we've seen. I think this is a great card. Essentially, it's a 1 less cost Gaia Force if you have a Grey or Omnimon card on the field. I do think that would be a good tech choice to have, especially if you are running a lot of Greymons in your red deck. Kibumon. Now, we feel like this card's been short printed because we saw like no one playing these at pre-releases, but this is a great card. You can have it in your Hexabluemon deck, and that is the start of your turn. If your opponent has Digimon with no Digivolution cards in play, gain 2 memory. Your turn. When you attack it with a blue Digimon, you may suspend this Tamer to trash the 2 Digivolution cards from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. Pretty damn good. And an all delete's the first one we've had so far. So, main, you may return one of your Digimon with Omnimon in its name to its owner's hand, delete all Digimon, and Tamers trash all Digivolution cards of this Digimon you returned with this effect. Board wipes are good. I don't necessarily think this is that good. Very expensive. You have to destroy things for fun. Although I have a feeling you can maybe negate it with the Omnimon effect. I don't actually truly know though. Because I feel like you'd negate the effect of having to trash it, but then I think you'd negate it and then get hit again anyway. I honestly don't know. Kyurtmon, Deramon, Paldramon, Neramon, Cubimon, Agumon, Demonic Disaster, Greymon, Yokomon, another Transcendent Sword. Nice if I get into these. Metal Garurumon, and another Izzy and Mimi. Great. Things I actually want to see for our decks. I don't know how Mrs. Swiftly feels, if she's currently on the bed either asleep or playing. Well, no, she's on her phone. I thought she might be playing Snap. I did get an update recently. So apparently she's missing our card dealer, so she's trying to get some good deals this thing. Weedmon, Bajaramon, Cubimon, Gassamon, Commandramon, Rowdy Rocker, Piximon, Shademon. Greymon. Revive from the darkness. Nokia, now I'm going to say this now. I normally think that when you get a alternate art, you'll get the SR in that box as well. So I suppose we will see. Oh, okay. 1 second. We'll start on the rest of the series. Goodbye, everyone. Be back in a minute when I put a sleeve on it. Sorry, I'm going to put it right here, right in the centre. Go away, cards. There you go. Cutemon, Pilomon, Gaussmon, Floramon, Keramon, Jokermon, Agumon, Absolute Blast, Bancho Lilymon, a Blazing Storm of Metal, Weru Monzimon. So I think it's probably one of my favourite uncommon cards in this set. Oh no, it's a rare, sorry. And a Tatmon, fantastic. So that's all of our cards. And no, I guess it's finally changed where we don't have the alter art as well as the super rare for that alter art. So that's fantastic. Right, last pack. Do we get lucky and get ourselves an even super rare box, or do we just basically grab a fantastic box all in all? Sakamon, Darabon, Dolbrickmon, Kyutemon, Monochromemon, Ultimate Flare, Caladimon, Transcendent Sword, Greymon, a Blazing Metal Storm, a Metal Greymon, all Terrace mode, and then all delete. That was a pretty good opening, in all fairness, guys. Ignoring this, I think we pulled some of the good rares. I think we've pulled a lot of the good uncommons and commons. Right, let's just have a fantastic shuffle around of these decks and see what we can do. We'll see you guys for the deck building for the first time for this series. I will try and play him. I don't know where he's going to go, though. But yeah, we'll try and do this. All right, guys. See you in the building section. Goodbye. Alright then, Tamers, let's get into the first deck profile changes for the BT5 format. As you may see, Transcendent Sword. As this is essentially going to be a Omnimon with Greymon influenced deck anyway, it makes sense for us to actually look at playing Transcendent Sword over Gaia Force. It's a fully red deck, you'll see what I mean in a second, and it just makes sense for us that Transcendent Sword is doing the same effect as Gaia Force in most cases. So we are going to play a playset of these. Now this could change and go into 2 ofs depending on what's going on further down the line. Now we're going to remove ourselves the weak TKs and we're going to start putting ourselves in some Nokias. Now the reason for this is because you spend 3, you play this down, you can then play a Agumon from this deck. Now as you'll see, it's got some more synergy later on. So we're going to take out the 2 of those, we're going to put the 2 in. Now because we do have a lot of Greymon synergy in this deck, it does gain the secondary effect, which is you can gain. I'm going to say these games is the... when digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand with Garurumon, Omni, or Greymon other than the fake ones in its name, you may suspend this Tamer to reduce the memory cost by 1. So some of these actually will give you essentially a free Digivolution cost. And as you said, we're playing 2 of those. We're taking out the Cauldromons. There's no wrong with Cauldromon. Cauldromons are doing really well for us, but we're going to be playing with the Monochrome. So we're going to have ourselves a playset of these. Just swap in, swap out kind of thing. And there we go. Fantastical. Greymon, taking out the Agoonies. As you can see, we're trying to get away from this, but we might have a secondary red deck later in the series, and you'll see what's going to happen there. Red deck is pretty cool, if we can add that later. I'm going to play, I believe, 3 of those. So we are taking out the Greymon that gives you extra 2000 DP. And we're going to play 3 of these. I'm going to play 4 of these, sorry. So we're taking 2 of these out. 3 of these out. All right, taking out all those Greymons, apparently. And then we're going to have these Greymons. At the end of the day, they have the same effect for what we're going for. They do give 2000 DP, like the same as that, except when they digivolve in the play area, you can gain a memory. And then with the Nokia effect, you essentially make this a 0 cost evolution. Very good card. Don't think you'll ever see meta play, but it's very good for what we have here, which is essentially just archetypal. And we're going to have the Searching Agumon, and this is searching for your Greymons and your Omnimon cards. So we're just going to remove the big beat stick babies. We don't necessarily need these in the deck anymore, as Searching is pretty good. And since most of our deck is now Greymon, we have a few Omnimon cards in here. Agumon is going to be fantastic for this deck. We're going to play set of those. Now, again, because we are playing such a big deck that is full of Greymons and Omnimons, we're going to remove these 2. So Yokomon only really works when we're attacking. Now, this will be more effective probably in the future, so we might go back to having 3 Koramons and then going back to a Yokomon, because in X1, which is coming out for Christmas for us, we will gain the ability of piercing in red thanks to Metal Greymon. And we'll remove a Gigimon, just because we have 4 Gigimons in there currently. But yes, as I said before, when attacking, if this Digimon has an Omnimon or a Greymon in its cards, you can draw 1. Draw power is pretty good, especially in a deck that we could just do extra draw. And that is the red deck. Next, we should do Green's profile, and that's going to be a case of we're taking out a lot of the Tamers from this set, and we are adding the extra value with the Mimis and Izzy. I love the Izzy card, and in all fairness, this might be tweaked, and we might go back to having, like, say, 2 of these, and then maybe 1 Izzy, as the search effect is pretty nice. But when attacking with a level 5, you do get to search the top 3 cards of your deck to add a level 6 onto the attacking Digimon, which makes this card fantastic, and let's face it, you're essentially drawing more power through your deck in case that's, something you need to do. And the effect that this would also be is, say your opponent blocks, well, because you have this effect activated, you can now gain the chance of having piercing, because let's face it, green likes piercing. We can take out the Vegemons. Instead, we're going to have the Weedmons in there. This is essentially because Digiburst still is quite highly respectable in green, so we will have a playset of this here, just to take it over from one Veggie to a Weedy. Now, people might complain and say, look, it's not great. I personally think that Weedmon is quite a good Digimon, especially because Digiburst is still quite an effective effect in green. And then we're going to start removing some of these guys here for the Yokomon. Again, this is because of the Digiburst effect. Again, I think it's pretty good. Argomon essentially gaining you an extra memory on the start of your spend phase is also really good, but I do think that green has the issue of being weenies, and that they are in need of having some power creep in them, as they don't have the ability to be very smushy smush smush. Now with blue, we're doing something very similar again, and that is the sense of we're going to have Joe, and take out Rena. We've got a Hexablow, we're going to take out a All Force Vegemon. We've got a Cries, and take out the Aero Vegemon. Then we have multiple of these, so we're going to take multiple out. We have 3 of. There we go. We have Pails, so we're taking the V's out. Vmon are going out, Pails coming in. Same again. XV1 going out. XV1 is very good, but don't think it'll ever get really used in our series currently. We can always go back to this in the future, as we are expecting the All Force Vegemon deck to drop around the time as BT6 does. Now we're going to take out some of our options here for blockers. Now you might think this is normally what you're going to use for late game, just try and get the last poking when you can. But we are taking away the blockers from this deck as well, so that way we do have 4 blockers. Taking out a Vmon for the Blueco, taking out another Vmon for the other Blueco. Got a 3rd Blueco going in and taking out the 3rd Vmon. Now the reason for this is essentially this deck just wants to stop your opponents from having Digivolution sources, and then if they don't have Digivolution sources, they don't get to do anything in return. And because they don't do things, occasionally a sense of you get to gain a draw, or you get to gain memory, or get jamming on Hexablow if they have no Digivolution sources on them. And that is our blue deck for episode 1 so far. Now, yellow's getting quite a big change, and that's scary or not, because yellow is still the metaist of meta decks currently. So we're going to take out a Rose Greymon. We're going to gain ourselves a Spiral Masquerain. We're going to take out a Rose Greymon red and yellow. We're going to gain ourselves a Nightmon. Nightmon again. Take out the War Groundmon. Now, I have seen people been using War Groundmon over Anduwoman. I want to try with Anduwoman, as I think it can be more effective in this deck. Another Nightmon, another War Growl, and then another Whitemon, and then another War Growl. We've got 2 Cutemons. And the only reason for this is because, essentially, as you've already seen, it's going to stop things like Greymon and Garurumons getting their memory cost reductions. It's going to stop green from doing Digidorption, as well as hidden potential discovered. And it's going to stop things like Impildramon. Impildramon might not have seen it, but it is still quite a competitive card even now, because Impildramon is very, very good. So we're going to take out the Salah. And I think we took out one of the War Groundmons. Taking out a Tuli. Putting it in a Gladdy. Another Gladdy. Taking out a Pedo. Another Gladdy. Taking out an Uni. Another Gladdy. Taking out an Uni. Starmon. Taking out a Glorious Burst. Starmon. Taking out a Glorious Burst. Starmon. Taking out a Lightning Pool. Starmon. Taking out a TK. Now the reason why we're doing this here is such a big random changeover is because these all give DP reduction per cards in play. So you might not think that sounds very good, but at the end of the day, this whole deck just does DP reduction as its only mechanic really. And that's what yellow has been doing now. Kurtmon, taking out the Poopy TK. Another Kurtmon, taking out the Patmon. This is kind of the last reserved Patmon card. It's okay, but for a 4 cost, you're generally going to get screwed over by it. Another Kurtmon, take out the Argomon. Another Kurtmon, take out the other Argomon. Then we're going to get to our babies. So we're going to go for Pigmon. This is if you have 3 or more Digimon in play, one of your opponent's Digimon reduces its DP by 1,000 for the turn. Now this is pretty good, because if you attack with multiple things, you can basically reduce something's DP to nothingness, if there is 4 on the field. Taking out one of the Koromons. Taking out another Koromon. Taking out the 3rd Koromon. And I'm going to take out the 4th Koromon. So Pigmon is going to go in there. I think we have the Upamon left as the 1-off for, I think, extra raw power. But that is the yellow deck looking forwards for now. Then we're going to get into black. So black has some interesting cards this set, makes it kind of cool, and they are the reboot cards. Black War Greymon has security attack +1 for this reboot. Now this is a pretty good card in itself, as it can gain more DP to essentially punch over something where it needs to. But I think the fact that we have reboot as well as security attack on this is probably a little bit more better for turns when you don't want to be sort of sitting yourselves down. I'm going to take out the other handsome Blitz Greymon from this deck. You've got one Metal Greymon. I'm going to take out the other Blitz. Again, on Digivolving, you can Digiburst 2 away. You can delete one of your opponent's blockers, essentially, if it's a 6 cost or less, or you remove the top security of their security part, which I think is pretty good. So we've got Black Galgamon, which is if the string has reboot, it gains 2000 DP. Well, these will both gain 2000 DP because of it. Taking out the Gogma, we are trying to get away from Digiburst as much as possible. We have put 2 of those in its place. Got a Waru Monzimon, taking out the Metal Greymon that gives blocking as an inherited effect for a turn. I don't really know what we're going to call that, like an effect. I think it needs to be a turn for that. We're taking 3 of those out. I think we're going to take 4 out. Yes, we're going to take 4 of those. Not 3? We're taking 3 of those out and having 3 of the Waru Monzimons. That's a nice, cheap cost, very cheap to play option here. We're going to have 2 Mechanorimons, just because I like the idea that it's a very cheap cost to throw down. It's a 6k blocker, and when it does block, it will restand after blocking a attack successfully if it survives. Taking out the 2 blockers from that. That's where we deal with that. Black Galgamon essentially has the same effect as the Greymon from earlier sets, where it gives jamming if you have reboot. So you can have a lot of jamming based ultimates and megas. Tankmon coming out here. I do think Tankmon's a fantastic card, but we need the space. So we're taking, I want to say 3 out? Oh, no. So we're taking out the jamming Greymons as well. We could play 6 of these, as we do have 2 of these currently in the deck, but the ratios for the deck itself is really odd. I think there will be some changes as well later that I'll add later, which will be the Tamers, as we're not playing the Greymon based strategy anymore besides these 2. We will now be playing the black fighting strategy instead. So on to purple. So I think purple's having the biggest changes right now, and that is we are removing some of these basic cards to have some more improvements. So Kari has a big issue right now where if you remove a security, you obviously gain a memory. Problem is, it becomes a dead card if you have no security left. When we get hybrids, she might come back in a second and actually might be worthwhile again. For now, taking these 2 out, we're going to have ourselves some Earthshakers instead. Taking out Anubismon, putting in a Magdadramon, and you'll see why later. We've got an Omnimon Zawert, taking out another Anubis, playing a Gallantmon, taking out the Pluto. Now I do like the Pluto, as this could actually activate the Earthshaker effect if it was to Digivolve, but it's something we can look at later. We have a Chimeramon, we're taking out a Wergarurumon. Got a second one, we got very lucky we did go to 2 pre-releases, so we now have a 2 of for this, taking out a Swarsatamon. We've got a Black Wargramon, taking out a Neo Devimon. We've got ourselves a Masuyamon, taking out a Meramon. We've got ourselves a second one, taking out a second Meramon. We've got a Black Growlmon, taking out the Garurumon. Got ourselves a second Black Growlmon, taking out the Garurumon. Got a third, taking out one of the Retaliation Devimons. We've got ourselves a 4th, taking out a second of the Retaliation Devimons. As much as I like this, it's very rare that this actually really comes to play, besides maybe crashing into a Mega, and at that point you're basically already on the back foot. Retaliation is a fantastic skill, but I think it needs to be placed on more things more effectively. Got ourselves a Gilmon, taking the Gabmon. Second Gilmon, taking the Gabmon. Third, taking out an Electmon. 4th, taking out another Electmon. Got a fake Agumon Expert. Now essentially this is just to return ourselves the Gilmon back to our hand, just so we can essentially mess around with some of the other options we have in the deck. Taking out a Ghostmon, fake Agumon Expert, taking out another Ghostmon, putting in another Expert, taking out another Ghostmon, putting out a 4th, taking out a Ghost, and then we're done for our lineup. And then we have the babies. So we have a Gigi for a Demi, a Gigi for a Demi, a Gigi for a Xiao, a Gigi for a Yama. Sorry, and I believe we have a Demi in there to help trigger some graveyard effect. But this is currently what purple looks like, really good. If you're wondering why it's in here rather than in black, it's because I just feel like purple needs the extra help for now, as black is pretty good, but purple is a little bit sort of behind, and Zawert is a fantastic card. So we'll see you guys in the battles, and we'll see what we can do tonight. Peace out.
We interrupt this video to bring you some more deck changes. So we are taking out a Marcus and putting in a tie, just because we're heading away from the Greymon deck, really. Taking out another Marcus and putting in an Izzy, revealing the top 3 cards of your deck, and if they're all black you're gaining memory, pretty good, and obviously you can put them back in any order. And take out another Marcus and putting in another Izzy. going to take out a Missimon and put in the Kapurimon, just because we're not got a D Brigade deck anymore. And we're going to do this 4 times. So that's 2, 3, and 4. And that is all of the newer deck changes. Red versus blue. Blue goes first, plays a Demi-Vmon, digivolves into Vmon, draws. Digivolves into Gorillamon, draws. Red draws, plays a Gigimon, plays an Ogumon, activating its effect. Blue draws, moves Gorillamon, plays a Hammerspark, activating its effect. Digivolves into Paildramon, draws. Attacks with Paildramon, hitting an Ogumon. Plays a Davis, activating its effect. Red draws. Digivolves into Greymon, draws. Digivolves into Volcdramon, draws. Digivolves into Wargreymon, draws. Blue draws, unsuspends, plays a Demi-Vmon. Digivolves into Belucamon, draws. Digivolves into Paildramon, draws. Plays a Hammerspark, activating its effect. Digivolves into Hexablaumon, draws. Attacks with Hexablaumon, hitting a Lavagritamon, activating its effect. Plays a Strabimon, activating its effect, but fails to trigger. Red draws, digivolves into Ogumon, draws. Digivolves into Dark Tyrannomon, draws. Attacks Hexablaumon with Wargreymon. Plays an Agunimon. Blue draws, moves Paildramon, digivolves into Gorillamon, draws. Attacks with Gorillamon, hitting a Volcdramon, being deleted. Digivolves into Christ Paildramon, draws, activates its effect. Red draws, moves Dark Tyrannomon. Attacks with Agunimon, hitting a Gabumon. Attacks with Dark Tyrannomon, hitting a Belucamon. Attacks with Wargreymon, hitting a Gabumon. Plays a Monochromon. Blue draws, plays an Upamon, digivolves into Belucamon, draws. Digivolves into Coriolimon, draws. Attacks with Christ Paildramon, hitting a Volcanic Dramon, being deleted. Plays a Sora and Joe. Plays a Paildramon. Red unsuspends, draws. Plays a Gigimon, digivolves into Ogumon, draws. Digivolves into Monochromon, draws. Digivolves into Lavagritamon, draws. Attacks with Wargreymon. Attacks with Dark Tyrannomon. Attacks with Lavagritamon, winning the game. Red versus blue. Red goes first. Plays a Koromon. Plays a Nokia, activating its effect. Playing an Ogumon, activating its effect. Blue draws, plays a Demi-Vmon, digivolves into Gabumon, draws. Plays Arena, activating its effect, but fails to trigger. Digivolves into Kyolimon, draws. Red draws, digivolves into Ogumon, draws. Plays a Sora. Blue draws, moves Kyolimon, digivolves into Paildramon, draws. Red draws, digivolves into Agunimon, draws. Blue draws, plays a Demi-Vmon, digivolves into Gabumon, draws. Plays a Hammerspark, activating its effect. Digivolves into Paildramon, draws. Attacks with Paildramon, hitting a Gallantmon. Digivolves into All-Force Vidramon, draws. Red draws, moves Agunimon, digivolves into Volcdramon, draws. Digivolves into Monochromon, draws. Blue draws, unsuspends, moves Paildramon, plays a Hammerspark, activating its effect. Attacks with Paildramon, suspending Rena, activating its effect, being blocked by Monochromon, being deleted. Attacks with All-Force Vidramon, hitting a Wargreymon. Deleting a Digivolution source, being deleted. Plays a Strabimon, activating its effect, but fails to trigger. Red draws, plays a Gigimon, digivolves into Ogumon, draws. Digivolves into Wargreymon, suspending Nokia, activating its effect. Draws. Blue draws, unsuspends, plays an Upamon. Digivolves into Vmon, draws. Digivolves into Kyolimon, draws. Plays a Hammerspark, activating its effect. Digivolves into Christ Paildramon, draws. Activates its effect. Red unsuspends, draws, moves Ogumon, digivolves into Greymon, suspending Nokia, draws. Attacks with Wargreymon, hitting Arena, activating its effect, but fails to trigger. Hitting a Strabimon, hitting a Beowulfmon, digivolves into Volcdramon, draws. Blue draws, moves Vmon, digivolves into Gorillamon, draws. Attacks with Chryspeldramon, hitting a Greymon. Attacks with Gorillamon, hitting an Omnimon. Being deleted. Plays a Davis, activating its effect. Red unsuspends. Draws. Plays a Gigimon, digivolves into Ogumon, draws. Attacks with War Greymon, hitting a Strabimon, hitting an Imperialdramon, being deleted. Digivolves into Volcanic Dramon, attacks with Volcanic Dramon, winning the game. Black versus purple. Black goes first, plays a Kapurimon, digivolves into Toy Ogumon, draws. Plays an Izzy, activating its effect. Purple draws. Plays a Gigimon, digivolves into Sukaimon, draws. Digivolves into Meramon, draws. Plays a Devimon, black draws. Moves Toy Ogumon, digivolves into Greymon, draws. Digivolves into Metal Greymon, draws. Purple draws. Moves Meramon. Plays a Gilmon, black draws. Digivolves into Metal Garurumon, draws. Digibursts, activating its effect. Deleting Devimon, attacks with Metal Garurumon. Hitting a Heat Viper. Hitting a Black Growlmon. Plays a tie. Reboots. Purple draws. Plays a Gigimon. Digivolves into Gilmon, draws. Digivolves into Mushimon, draws. Plays a fake Agumon Expert. Black draws. Plays a Kapurimon. Digivolves into Toy Ogumon, draws. Digivolves into Black Galgamon, draws. Attacks with Metal Garurumon, hitting a Devimon, hitting a Mat, which is played for free, activating its effect. Reboots. Digivolves into Black Mac Galgamon, draws. Purple draws. Moves Mushimon. Attacks with Mushimon, hitting an Agumon. Digivolves into Black War Growlmon, draws. Digivolves into Chaos Gallantmon, draws. Activating its effect, deleting Gilmon. Black draws. Moves Black Mac Galgamon, digivolves into Black War Greymon, draws. Attacks with Black War Greymon, hitting a Metal Garurumon. Attacks with Metal Garurumon, winning the game. Black versus purple. Black goes first, plays a Kapurimon. Digivolves into Ogumon, draws. Plays an Izzy, activating its effect. Purple draws. Plays a Gigimon. Digivolves into Sukaimon, draws. Digivolves into Black Growlmon, draws. Plays a fake Agumon Expert. Black draws. Moves Ogumon. Digivolves into Greymon, draws. Digivolves into Warumonzimon, draws. Purple draws. Moves Black Growlmon. Digivolves into Skull Satamon, draws. Black draws. Plays a Kapurimon. Digivolves into Chumon, draws. Digivolves into Dark Tyrannomon, draws. Digivolves into Warumonzimon, draws. Digivolves into Black War Greymon, draws. Purple draws. Plays a Gigimon. Digivolves into Gilmon, draws. Plays a Mimi. Attacks with fake Ogumon Expert, hitting a Metal Greymon, being deleted. Attacks with Skull Satamon, hitting a Black War Greymon, being deleted. Plays a Nailbone, activating its effect, playing a Black Growlmon and a Sukaimon. Suspends Mimi, activating its effect. Black draws. Moves Warumonzimon. Digivolves into Metal Garurumon. Digibursts, activating its effect, deleting Black Growlmon. Draws. Attacks with Metal Garurumon, hitting a Devimon. Attacks with Black War Greymon, hitting a Gilmon. Digibursts. Attacks with Black War Greymon, hitting a Mastimon, being deleted. Plays a Greymon. Reboots. Purple draws. Unsuspends. Moves Gilmon. Digivolves into Mushimon, draws. Attacks with Mushimon, hitting a Commandramon. Digivolves into Skull Satamon, draws, activating Skull Satamon's effect. Black draws. Plays a Sumimon. Digivolves into Toy Ogumon, draws. Digivolves into Black Mac Galgamon. Attacks with Black Mac Galgamon, hitting a Jack Raid, activating its effect. Reboots. Purple draws. Unsuspense. Place a Digimon. Digivolves into Guilmon. Draws. Place a Hell's Gate, deleting Metal Garurumon. Suspends Mimi, activating its effect. Black draws. Moves Toy Ogumon. Digivolves into Mechanoriumon. Draws. Attacks with Black Mac Galgamon, hitting aware Garurumon, being deleted. Purple draws. Unsuspends. Moves Guilmon. Plays a Jack Raid, activating its effect. Suspends Mimi, activating its effect. Attacks with Guilmon, being blocked by Mechanoriumon, being deleted. Digivolves into Mastimon, draws, activating its effect. Playing a Devimon. Attacks with Mastimon, hitting a Greymon. Digivolves into Black Growlmon, draws. Black draws, plays a Kapurimon. Digivolves into Chumon, draws. Digivolves into Waromonzimon, draws. Attacks with Waromonzimon, being blocked by Devimon. Digivolves into Chaosmon, activating its effect, winning the game. Yellow versus green. Green goes first. Plays a Yokamon. Digivolves into Goblinmon. Draws. Plays a Tentamon, activating its effect. Yellow draws. Plays a Blinding Ray, activating its effect. Plays a TK, activating its effect. Plays an Upamon. Digivolves into Bushi Agamon. Draws. Digivolves into Pidamon. Draws. Plays a Lopmon, activating its effect. Green draws. Moves Goblinmon. Digivolves into Kabitariumon. Draws. Digivolves into Lilymon. Draws. Activating its effect. Yellow draws. Moves Pidamon. Plays a Pulsemon, activating its effect. Digivolves into Chirimon. Draws. Digivolves into Chirimon. Draws. Green draws. Plays a Yokamon. Digivolves into Lalamon. Draws. Digivolves into Grand Koagamon. Draws. Yellow draws. Plays a Pikmon. Digivolves into Bushi Ogumon. Draws. Digivolves into Angiwoman. Draws. Digivolves into War Greymon. Draws. Green draws. Moves Lalamon. Digibursts Grand Koagamon, being blocked by Pidamon. Digivolves into Chaosmon. Draws. Activates its effect. Deleting War Greymon, hitting an Angiwoman, hitting a Gladimon. Yellow draws. Plays a Blinding Ray, activating its effect. Moves Bushi Agamon. Digivolves into Pidamon. Draws. Attacks with Chirimon, hitting a Togimon. Plays a Starmon, activating its effect, deleting Goblinmon. Plays a Starmons, activating its effect, deleting Lalamon. Green draws. Plays an Argamon. Digivolves into Lalamon. Unsuspends. Draws. Attacks with Chaosmon, being blocked by Pidamon. Plays a Tentamon, activating its effect. Yellow draws. Unsuspends. Attacks with Chirimon. Attacks with Starmons. Attacks with Starmons. Yellow forfeits the game. Green wins by default. Yellow versus green. Yellow goes first. Plays a Pikmon. Digivolves into Bushi Agamon. Draws. Plays a TK, activating its effect. Green draws. Plays a Yokamon. Plays a Mimi. Plays an Izzy and Mimi. Yellow draws. Moves Bushi Ogamon. Digivolves into Pidamon. Draws. Digivolves into Angiwomon. Draws. Digivolves into Shine Greymon. Draws. Green draws. Plays a Weedmon. Suspends Weedmon. Digisorbing into Blossommon. Plays a Weedmon. Draws. Yellow draws. Plays an Upamon. Plays a Lopmon, activating its effect. Plays a Blinding Ray, activating its effect. Digivolves into Starmons. Draws. Digivolves into Pidamon. Draws. Attacks Blossomon with Shine Greymon, plays a Bushy Agumon. Attacks with Bushy Agumon, hitting a Kabutariamon, being deleted. Plays a Salamon. Green, draws. Suspends Weedmon, Digivolving into Blossomon. Plays a Kabutariamon. Digivolves into Mega Kabutariamon, draws. Yellow unsuspends. Moves Pitamon, draws for the turn. Digivolves into Chirimon, draws. Attacks with Shine Greymon, hitting a Grand Quagamon. Playing a Lucimon on Angelwoman's effect. Shine Greymon is deleted. Lucimon's effects are played. Plays a Kyrie. Green, draws, unsuspends. Digivolves into Wormmon, draws. Suspends Mimi, activating its effect to move Wormmon. Attacks with Blossommon, hitting a Starmons. Suspends Izzy and Mimi, activating their effect. Digivolving into Hercules Kabutariamon, draws. Digivolves into Chaosmon, draws. Activates Chaosmon's effect. Being blocked by Pitamon, hitting a Gladiamon. Yellow, draws, plays a Pikmon. Digivolves into Bushy Agumon, draws. Attacks with Lucimon, hitting a Hercules Kabutariamon, being deleted. Attacks with Salamon, hitting a Lilymon, being deleted, activating its effect. Attacks with Churimon, hitting a Kabutariamon. Plays a Nightmon, activating its effect. Deleting Wormmon, activating its effect. Green unsuspends, draws. Plays an Argamon, digivolves into Lalamon, draws. Digivolves into Stingmon, draws. Suspends Mimi, activating its effect to bring Stingmon out. Attacks Churimon with Chaosmon, hitting a Gladiamon. Attacks with Mega Kabutariamon, hitting a Coatmon. Suspends Izzy and Mimi, activating its effect, but fails to trigger. Suspends Stingmon, digivolving into Argamon, draws. Plays a Lalamon. Digivolves into Stingmon, draws. Digivolves into Lilamon, draws. Yellow attacks with Nightmon, winning the game. Yellow versus green. Green goes first. Plays an Argamon. Digivolves into Argamon, draws. Plays a Tentamon, activating its effect. Yellow draws. Plays a Pikmon. Digivolves into Cutemon, draws. Plays a Cutemon. Plays a Kyrie. Green draws. Moves Argamon. Digivolves into Turgimon, draws. Activating its effect, but fails to trigger. Digivolves into Turgimon, draws. Activates effect. Yellow draws, moves Cutemon, digivolves into Pitamon, draws. Digivolves into Angelwoman, draws. Green draws, plays a Yokomon, digivolves into Tentamon, draws. Suspends Turgimon, digivolving into Blossomon, draws. Attacks with Turgimon, hitting an Angelwoman, being deleted. Digivolves into Weedmon, draws. Yellow draws, plays an Upamon, digivolves into Salamon, draws. Digivolves into Churimon, draws. Digivolves into /Angemon, draws. Activates /Angemon's effect, deleting Blossomon. Green draws, moves Weedmon. Digivolves into Mega Kabutariamon, draws. Digivolves into Grand Quagamon, draws. Yellow draws, moves Salamon. Digivolves into Chaosmon Boulder Arm, draws. Activating its effect, deleting Grand Quagamon. Green draws, plays a Yokomon, digivolves into Lalamon, draws. Digivolves into Stingmon, draws. Plays a Tentamon, activating its effect. Yellow draws, plays a Pikmon, digivolves into Coatmon, draws. Plays a Gladiamon, activating its effect. Green draws, moves Stingmon, digivolves into Stingmon, draws. Suspends Stingmon, digivolving into Argamon, draws. Attacks with Argamon, hitting a Churimon, being deleted. Digivolves into Lilamon, draws. Yellow draws. Attacks with Chaosmon Voldararm, hitting a Grand Quagamon. Plays the Starmons on Angelwoman's inherited effect. Attacks Lilamon with Gladiamon. Attacks with Churimon. Attacks with Salamon, hitting an Izzy and Mimi, which is played for free. Plays a Pulsemon, activating its effect. Digivolves into Angelwoman. Draws. Green draws. Plays a Yokomon, digivolves into Lalamon, draws. Digivolves into Weedmon drawers, Digivolves into Mega Capitariumon drawers, Digivolves into Hercules Capitariumon drawers, yellow drawers, unsuspends, Digivolves into Wargreymon drawers, attacks with Wargreymon, hitting a Tentamon, plays a Bushiagamon on Anti-Woman's effect. Unsuspends Wargreymon, attacks with Wargreymon, hitting a Chaosmon, being deleted, attacks with Bushiagamon, winning the game. This is Layla Swiftly signing out. Thank you all for watching. Sorry for the delay. It's been quite awkward trying to edit this video, if I'm honest with you, and it's very, very long. Hopefully the future episodes will be shorter. There were a couple of misplays in this, which I didn't notice, obviously, until I edited it, so I couldn't do anything about it. These battles were quite intense, if I'm honest with you. By the end of it, I basically said that I don't want to play Digimon anymore. It's kind of harsh when you win one game out of 7, and you didn't even win it. Not really, it was forfeited to you. Don't know if it just means that I need more practice and more experience behind me, but I will try again next week. The worst part is I got to choose every deck first, and then Agito got to choose the deck he wanted to play against it. Once we get further into the BT5 expansion, maybe there will be more I can do. I think with purple, because obviously I built the purple originally and I knew how it worked, and then all of a sudden all of these changes have happened and I don't know how they work. I don't know how it synergizes, so maybe that's why purple didn't work for me. And I'm gonna say it's probably the same for blue. Blue was kind of my deck originally, and it's been changed quite a lot, and I've not really played much of it. And green did really badly, like in my opinion anyway. Green is one of those decks that wants to swarm the board, and it definitely didn't. But never mind, next week comes and we will see how we go there. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to us, and if you like our new way of doing things, let us know. We're doing the best of 3 matches now, and obviously we're doing a box per episode, so it's a big difference really. Anyway, it's been great. Have a lovely day. Can't say Digimon Sunday because this isn't getting to you on Sunday, and we will see you next week. Ta-ra!